Good afternoon, everyone. Gonna gonna play around with our marketplace a little bit more today. We've been making quite a few changes, and just want to start sharing them a little bit, and just some quality of life updates and things like that, and making sure in our test environment that things are loading as we would expect. So that's what we're gonna do. Turn on a little bit of I don't know, something. Let's see. There's got to be like probably not indie rock, but some chill hop seems like a good alter or a good idea for music today. And work on my screen and we'll get going. All right, Twitter. And as we go along, like always, anybody joining, feel free to ask questions. Let's see, feel free to ask. I'll do my best to answer them. Need more YouTube subs. Hashtag Kadena. Streaming some marketplace updates live. Need more YouTube subs. Cool. All right. Now, how do I... My screen's like having a fit today. All right. Turn hiding on. There we go. All right. So the first things I need to do, I've been going through and updating things so that we have both V2 and NG. It's a little slow loading it on my local environment, but we'll test it somewhere else in a minute. I may change my screen grab so people don't go into that domain. That's usually what happens is I get a flood of traffic to my test sites where I don't intend people to be. So, and then please like subscribe on YouTube if you can. All right. Just want to make sure everything's still populating. And then who's all right, cool. So the kings are loading from there. No traits in there. Cool. All right, what do I want to do? I want to go to my profile. I might switch this to the web in a minute because this seems like it's really struggling. All right, cool. Yeah, let's list this. Welcome. Let's see if I pull this chat up. I just got to wait for this to complete. So we've been testing auctions and sales and things like that. And so the next step is to build. So this is all the V2 sales have worked for a while. We're doing the V2 auctions, which is a 2-step process. So I'll show you kind of where we're at with that. And the next piece is to have the sales flow for NG. And I think then that'll be kind of done. So I've got it integrated, all the endpoints you can search. So like if you log in here, you can get all of your V2, NG, and I'll probably add V1 in here too. So you'll be able to look up a couple things from one place. I wonder why my Discord keeps getting buried and I need it. And one of the other things that's very helpful. So, all right, cool. So that's done. There we go. Cool. So we want this to be a minimum of 3 KDA. Let's go 40. And that's it. So I wanted to use this to kind of test a few things, but it seems like it's just working. So after this transaction completes, cool. The waiting is the hardest part, but it's cool. I think maybe if I'm feeling a little crazy, I might consider, because we don't have all of our infrastructure on testnet, I might consider testing SpireKey with this. We'll see. I'm not sure if I want to use a site like this to to test that. That's a pretty big lift to integrate something like that into an existing site like this and get all the flows down. But I think it might be interesting to see how it interacts with NFTs and having to, I think I'd have to fork some of the policies, but in general, it should work. So I'm kind of curious what that might look like. All right. Come on. There we go. Okay. So we have this listed. We have this listed for auction. I'm going to show bidding on it. Okay. So let's go bid on that auction. So that NFT, I'm gonna have to grab it because it's not gonna show this one on the website. Cool. All right, so minimum, we should probably put the minimum in here. So minimum 3.5. Please try again. Oh, yeah, that's true. It so ends in, so I'm going to note that. We have the end date, but not the start. I think it's like 2 minutes from now. see. It is auction start time. Doesn't stop me from. Cool. Okay. What do we have? Like 4 more minutes, I think. Let's see. Oh, no, there we go. It's started now. Poor Squeegee. I don't know if he's listening right now. Sometimes he does, but I'm like, oh, we got it. It's working great. And then I'm like, oh man, thanks, Tori. Like, oh man, it's not quite there. That's okay. I think it just needs to say. Easy fixes. These are easy things. The hard stuff was getting it to this point, so we get to test and play around with it. And interestingly enough, let's see. Man, it's still loading, huh? Yeah, so perfect. So one of the things I wanted to spend a few minutes on was going through that. That's good. So now it didn't update. All right. So now we can look at, okay, so that's updated. This is the highest bid. Cool. So you can get some quick stats here. I don't think properties is going to do anything. I don't have any traits for this. And so we know, right? I think everybody knows reserve price, you have to go above that and it will stop you from bidding otherwise. This is my offer that I just did, and it's going to track all your offers down here. So if you wanted to see how many bids there were, it's going to show you all that. And we keep that data, so it's always viewable. The other thing that I wanted to try, let's see, 14 credits. I wanted to show, so that's one piece of it. And then the next is, let's see, this is top NFTs or something like that. Every time I come in here, so this is, okay, so this is past activity for selling. These are the immutable ones still have like the biggest note on here for how much they sold for, which is cool. And I hope that my collections all show up in here. So it should include the 3 NG collections now, and it does. Cool. Okay, so we have everything in here now, which is really good. We did not before. I had to make some updates. What are we subscribing to, Tori? Do you know? I don't really know. Is that YouTube? Should just make you say it. It's more fun that way. I also added I expanded my little code generator a little bit so that you can see like how you would want to use it in your own code. So I tried to make it a little more easy to copy paste, so somebody could just literally generate this and run it. What we should do is add it to one of the test sites and utilize it that way. I think it might be helpful to do that. So for now, I am going to look at, this would be buy NFT. Buy now NFT. All right. Let's get rid of that. We don't need that. So let's go see what structure we need here. Oh, there it is. I'm gonna go on a hike. Gotta touch grass. Hey, you know, when you've got that terrain, you should go use it. It's important. I want to go change streams. You just can publish it. All right. Yeah, we can, Squeegee, we can real-time stream all of our events too, if that's to pick any of these new ones up that we're working on. So not a problem. But for now, I want to look at this. Buyer fungible. So what would I call it? List for sale. Sale. Code. Okay, so if we want to list an auction, that's how we do that. So ledger dot. There we go. Maybe that'll help me find it. Ledger dot offer. Here's what we want. Okay, so that's when you go to homepage, you see those. In activity, I think we made. All right, so I need the docs here. NG. And I'm just gonna mirror essentially what we did for listing the same. I want to list the same way here. So if we want to do a fixed sale, let's show. So we have these examples. So it's going to be the same thing. So ledger.sale, token, seller, our quantity, and then our timeout. Sale type is very important. Okay, so the currency will be, so this is where I think what would be interesting is I want to say we should be able to support any fungible. So you could list for sale. I might put I might play around with that actually. So this one is specific to listing coin, but I think we might. I can't think of any tokens off my head other than maybe obviously Heron would go on here that I'd want to toy around with at first, but I think maybe we could play around with that and see how easy it would be to manipulate, and then let you choose, like if you want to pay in, if you want them to pay in KDA or something else. And so, all right, so fixed quote. All right, so this is our seller. That's who the funds are going to, I assume. Supermarket. All right, so our account, and they're going to take this currency, minimum fee. Okay. Let's see what it's like without that, all that. So these are the only things we need for a traditional sale. Okay, we can work with that. Let's find where this ends. Somewhere down here. Way down here. All right, ledger.offer. I'll put this create. Just do it right here. So this will be create ng sale. Payload limited or fixed. So I think if we do unlimited, we're going to specify like a date that's like really far out there. And then we don't need reserve price for this, but we do need sale. So it was sale NFT ID, seller, 1.0, and then timeout will be in time. So let's see, timeout. Timeout. Payload.timeout. All right. Now, it's hard to find, I think. Alrighty. And then this is, what's that namespace? I'm going to define that in my config. The namespace for ng. Okay. Thanks. Definitely not Iron Man. I would sync. So let's do this. Let's do config. Mainnet. So this would be ng. Yeah. I think that's right. So this would be config.ng. So config.ng. Oops. All right, and then sales the same. So then this would need to change. Okay, capabilities, ledger.offer. Yep. Token ID, account name. Interesting. So we don't need that in here. All. Ledger.offer. Okay, so now this is where it deviates quite a bit. So this is going to be marmalade sale. And perfect, we already have this in here. So this would have to be... Okay, so let's think about this. So this will be const fungible fungible payload fungible. Okay. So that'll allow us, I think, if nothing's there, specify coin. Cool. Okay. Sale price. Sale type is inside here. Sale underscore type. Okay, so this is all different. All right, so fungible sale underscore type. And this is just going to be fixed because this is a fixed sale. Sale price. Nope. Okay, that's done. Yes, I know you're not happy. So this is just price. And this is marmalade underscore fixed quote. And I'm just pulling this from what we were looking at earlier. Nothing special. Fixed quote. That guards close there. Fungible closes here. That closes here. Okay, we're all closed up now. So fixed quote, price, and recipient. Sip. And this is just the seller. Let me need this. All right. Very good. I know, I'm sorry. I have like 8 chats going. People asking questions. You can come ask it in the chat too. She fixed now. All right. So now we have fixed quote, price, recipient, sale type is fixed. Ah, yes. Currency. Important to I'll mix all this together. I have like a test function that combines fixed sales, conventional auctions, and Dutch auctions all in one place. I just gotta work on that logic. All right, so that's that. So things we would need. This is all I need. These are what I added. You can specify different modules. By default, we use coin. We don't need any of this. Do we already have? We have sale duration type. Let's just reuse that. Unlimited or no, that's different. Okay, I think this is fine. All right. Anything else I need to change in here? It's like streams or... Yeah, the streams are off for some reason. I don't get that. Okay. Let me update this. ng updates. Added. Create ng sale to account.js. All right, Squeegee, I pushed the function. I just need to test place B. Yeah, it's crazy because it's confusing for me too. If you message me on Discord or Telegram, there is about a 60-second delay between the two, so it can get a little confusing. My apologies. But with that, I mean that's the easy one. So now let's look at if we wanted the fee. So let's pull this down. It's been a while since I've looked at this. It'd be cool to see multiple standards in one place, if nothing else. I don't see a ton of activity, people buying and selling NFTs. I mean, I track all that. I don't look too close, but let's see what this says. We must provide a fee object, which is what that other code showed. Let me just pull up something. Okay, so marketplace, min, max, rate. So the minimum fee, the maximum fee. I see. I'm wondering if that's the minimum in like KDA in this case. Fee rate. I'm gonna go look at shared fee rate. 20%. Okay, so max fee is cool. So we don't have to, like, if somebody sold an NFT for $1,000, we're not going to take 100 KDA out of that. That's cool. All right, note. Nobody should rely on this field since it can be crafted by anyone. Shared marketplace fees. Okay. Not aware of the type of sale it is. Interesting. So, do we have an example of listing something? Get all active. No, I want an example of. Do I have to create? Do I have to create the marketplace account? Let's see. Fixed quote sales. Starting the sale. Yep, we know that. We just did that. The function get active sale by market hash can be used to just achieve those sales. The marketplace. Let's go look at that. Okay. So let's go take a look at that. So this is policy marketplace. Let's see what it has. Policy marketplace. The card coin. Okay. Yeah, I think it would be cool to. I think it'd be cool to support multiple. It's a little chaotic, but I think if like a project wanted to come in and list their project with their token, I don't care. You know, it's really up to the marketplace then to decide if you can put a fee on it, if you want to go that route. And honestly, I know like our marketplace, a lot of the sales don't have fees on them. They will soon, but they're tiny anyways. But there's no real benefit to like, I guess, promoting the marketplace unless there's some way to justify promoting it. I guess I don't know how to. I don't know like a PC way to say that, but let's see what we have here. The function was get active sales by hash. Okay, so there must be like a get marketplace fee with details. So if you know the market name, and then if you know the fee hash. Okay, cool. These are simple. So how do we like, do we register a marketplace, read marketplace, or does it auto register marketplace sales schema, sale ID, token ID, fee, marketplace sales? Is there just one table in here or one schema? Marketplace sales schema and marketplace fee schema. Okay, cool. Marketplace account. Anything should be minimum fee, rate, shared rate, max fee. So we want to set, that makes sense. Let's see what calls this. A couple things. All right, enforce sale officer or offer, that makes sense. So we're gonna load all this in there. Force withdraw makes sense. So something else must be calling. I bet this gets mapped over from the ledger then. Enforce sale settle. Get marketplace fee. By sale ID. Does anything have an example of that? Let's see. Sales. I bet this one doesn't have it. Well, let's try. Okay. So kind of suspected that. Let's see if maybe one of these other ones has it. Nope. Okay. Maybe I'll have to make one so I can test it. Nope. I was hoping to have like a nice, easy example to use, but that's okay. It doesn't always have to be easy. We can make it our own. So maybe it describes, does it just happen when you list it? Like, I don't, marketplace, night hooks, forced sale. Yep, we saw that. Oh, I mean, what's it gonna hurt to try? So let's put this back. All right, and now let's just build it, I guess. It'll be like an if statement, basically. So let packed, so like packed env data dot push. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that to you right now. Let's just make it simple. Let's just assume we're gonna do a fee on these things. We can't assume that, but if something doesn't support it, I don't know that anybody will list it. So that'll be one of the interesting things to see. All right, marmalade. Marketplace. Name. So then marketplace dash account. Okay. Just a test account, I guess. So Marketplace. There we go. Marketplace. Oh, yeah, we can't do that. In YAML, we can. In here, we cannot. All right, so we're going to replicate our currency. No reason to fight that. Min fee. Whoops. And then fee rate. And this would be O.2. Shared dash rate. I don't know what to put here. I don't think I have to talk to somebody to see how the other guys are doing these. I think that would be, I think the only other one's building a marketplace is Hypercent right now. So if I'm reading this right, this means the minimum we'll take is 1 KDA if our fungible's KDA. I would also have to change this if I'm letting people specify other fungibles out of my control. I would have to adjust this more dynamically and probably tie it back to my on-chain oracle, probably, just so that we are kind of aligned on where, like, if you do like 1.0 of KDA, that's one thing, but 1.0 of like an asset that's like 1/1,000,000 of a percent of a KDA is pointless. So to support this, I think it's a little more logic, but it might be kind of cool to play around with. I would probably talk to a couple of the tokens that I know are active and see if anybody wants to try it, if it's worth it. And then they can say, hey guys, go check this out. You can buy and sell your NFTs here, and you can pay in whatever coin you have. Okay, so this is optional, but we're gonna add it. I think we're gonna add it on everything. If their collection supports marketplaces, which is interesting because I wonder, collections, I need to see one of their NFTs. So let me just pull one of these up. Ledger tokens. All right, let's look. That's the bridge policy. Policy marketplace, cool. Okay, so this supports. Let's go pull an NFT out of Skellies. Let's see what these guys did. Tokens. Oops. Policy marketplace, cool. Ah, yeah, extra policies, every policy. That's what I like to see. So, just one more to check. All right, Kings, what do you got for us? There's a bunch of policies in here, if I remember. Trusted custody, yeah. Fixed. Okay, so we can do auction. We can't do Dutch auction. Well, I thought those were built in. Maybe I'm losing my mind. Just by enabling. Anyways, we'll check that in a little bit. So one of the things we'll have to pay attention to very closely is if the collection, and this is when we vet I guess, Veta collection, and I do it all automatically, and then all the data is seeded, and then I can approve or deny a collection right now. And what we would do is we would go and look and see if you want to launch on the marketplace, you need to at minimum have this, and then I would argue you need to have some type of sales enabled. Otherwise, you can't sell it. What's the point of having it? I think those are basics. Okay, so we're good there. Everything I see so far that I would care about, that I approved, supports marketplace, and I kind of knew that already, but I wasn't sure about one of them, but now I am sure. And so the next thing we would want to do, I mean, this has got to be it. I think this might actually just work. If we can get the fungible is going to default to coin, so we're good there. If we get the timeout, and he might already be, maybe that's what he's using for this. I'll have to ask. So then, what is the auction? Auction, create v2 auction. Looks like the same structure, maybe. Let's just go back here and reuse this. Creates an NG fixed sale. Cool. And create NG auction sale. Create NG auction. Let's go look at an example of an auction, which I think it's probably close. It's just going to depend on sale type. And that's why I think we should combine we should combine this function with the other function. But while we're testing, we'll just leave it separate and make it easy. Let's see. We need an example of an auction. Auction sale. Okay. So same thing. Sale, token, seller, 1.0 and timeout. Same structure there. Marmalade sale. So this is where it gets very important to pay attention. There we go. Maybe we're done. I don't know. Let's see. I don't think so. Let's see. Okay, so this has, instead of fixed quote, it's marmalade underscore auction. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely recommend we blend all this together. So start price, starting price, recipient. Yes, the ever important increment ratio. Increment underscore ratio, and we're gonna do 1.0. That's just saying like you have to increment it by something. So think about it like if you're gonna do an auction, I don't want somebody to bid like 11 decimal points to beat somebody. It's just gonna get annoying to just keep losing to that. So auction. I assume the fee structure is the same. I don't know why it'd be any different. So we can leave that in there. And honestly, it looks like that's it. Yeah. Yeah, so all we would really do is say if it's an auction, swap this and this. Like that is it. Yeah. That's it. That's easy. We can logic that, and then what's a Dutch auction look like? I think that one's a little more custom. No? I'm gonna give them all 3 examples. You can figure out how to combine them. It's so much. Oh, but we don't have a card for that. It doesn't matter. I'm crazy. You know what? I don't want to do that. too much. Just leave that. Okay. So that should be enough to yeah, it does, doesn't it? People paying attention. Make sure I didn't do that anywhere else. I don't think so. I think that's the only place. That's funny. That'd have been fun. Okay. What else do we want to do? Let's see. We already have fixed sale. What's an extra policies? So that's a blacklist policy. I don't care about that. What's a royalty structure? Update rate. Okay, if you do adjustable royalty, you can update it. I think that's it. So create V2. Create V2 sale. Okay, so thing. So our form on this page would just create auction. Okay. Step 2. That's where it's important. So we would just go right to step 2. If start time is greater than current date, true. Start date. Current date. Makes sense. Okay. This is where I don't want to tinker. I'm gonna save this. What's not saved? So then we just need to basically reuse all the logic we have for sale and say instead of going to create V2 sale, we just do create NG sale. And probably can, I don't know that I want to mix those two because they do have some very distinct differences, but we could just switch this. And this is gone. Let's see. It doesn't need to be. Maybe just keep it 2 commands. But sales and auctions for V2, it's tough because there's a 2-step for listing, for sale, and auction, and you want to be very careful on that. But for our purposes here, I think we can reuse the same function. It's so similar. It's just rendering different environmental data. I mean, that's it. No sense in rewriting or reinventing the wheel here. Okay. I did want to show one other thing. So we have this. Let me see if I can find it. We have this little search. Let's see, local 3001. All right. Okay, so this is still working, and then this would be king. Okay. Lupa, Lupu. So loopoo loopoo. Okay. So it's all still working good. Let's see. Collection details are here still. And what was the other one I wanted to see? NG. Okay. See. Oh, I see. I see. Kings under max size. So then I would do like brown. Oh, look at that. Just returns everything. I think I have to specify a collection. This isn't meant to be that robust. And then you can put your K account in here. So then it'll return all of the NFTs that belong to you. Let me just check something. I want to make sure that this is returning what I want. Okay, that makes sense. So let me grab one of the V2 ones. V2 ledger. Should have a bunch. All right, it does. Okay, cool. So it's all working. So that's all of our real-time search endpoint. And these are like, it won't find metadata unless you tell it to search metadata, because it's a little more taxing, but it takes like a half a second to load. You really don't notice it on the page, but this is all the stuff that it's crazy. It's just all these little things that go into here. And so I think getting the sales stuff in here should be pretty easy. This is for sale. This is, nobody's bid on it yet. I think this one was for sale. That's up to 8. This is for sale. I'm running out of stuff to sell. And I think outside of that, look at the sales. I think it's ready. I know some people have been playing around this and testing, and I would like to be able to. So when we have our Heron games, I think it would be interesting to be able to buy and sell. So there's NFTs that go along with that. It would be interesting to maybe try it with that one to see how, not popular, but like if anybody actually wants to buy an NFT using the Heron token. And I don't really think that like adds any special flavor or utility. I could say something like, when I list it, I would list it for like 5% less or something. I don't know how you could get like into a situation where you say, if you hold that token, we'll give you like a 5% discount, because technically I can't control that unless I escrow your NFT ahead of time, which I don't want to do to anybody. So I think if anybody has any, usually people send some good ideas on that stuff. If anybody has a good idea, I think it would be interesting to see what possible use case we have for using tokens on here. Otherwise, I don't want it. It just mucks it all up. KDA is fine. I do think, though, if projects want to experiment with that, I'm happy to try to figure out how that might work. Keep it dynamic and let people choose. It would just be when you go to list. I assume when you... Oh, it's already for sale. When you go to list something, you would just pick... You just pick your fungible. So you'd pick what token. Yeah, we just have to add a field here. And like maybe a drop down of like approved tokens. Yeah, a drop down of approved tokens. And then our code doesn't care. We track the fungible throughout. So when we go to buy, we know what to put in there too. Maybe not too bad. And then this is the two-step process. So step one is create a transaction, essentially, which is a sale ID for us. And then step two is the auction piece. So I think with that, I haven't shown this for a while, and I know some people have been asking like, what's going on. It just working on other things too. It's not that it's necessarily been neglected. A lot of the projects that wanted to launch have either decided not to, or some of them were straight up scams, and they just want to. And it's fine. Like if you want to sell your NFTs to make money off the community, fine. It's like that's your choice, but it's also my choice to say no to listing those. So if you're looking, I would recommend checking out. I like these Shades of the Abyss. I think these are so cool. I haven't tried buying one, but there is one that I want to buy. Oh, my local host just really struggles with this one. Oops. Doing a really good job of selling this one. So I'm thinking, like, if somebody can figure out which one of these I actually want, I would be willing to probably buy it for like double that you buy it for. And I don't know who owns these, but I'm curious. Like, I wish I did know, but there's one of these I really like. I like two or three of them a lot, but one I really like. And but other than that, I would check out. So I know a couple of people have bought these, the Wandering Otters. I like these Celestials, and I know more collections are coming. And they're just small. They're just small, fun, just based on different community projects and stuff like that. And I think it's kind of cool to kind of see these. And some people just like unique stuff, and check them out. Even if you don't want to buy anything, it's cool to have feedback if people want more features, things like that. We're always happy to consider that. But now with having, if you mint one of the, I needed the updates for this. So when you mint one of the Heron NFTs, it has other benefits, I guess. And so what I'd like people to be able to do is trade them. There's no royalties on them, so you can send them to people. Like, I want it to be like free trade. Like, you can do whatever you want with them. They're yours, right? And they're what allow entry into certain seasons. Well, at some point, there's going to be like a winners tournament where you have to have winning NFTs. And I think that you could probably make the effort to do well. And then if you wanted to, you could probably sell that NFT if somebody wants to jump in and doesn't have one. I could see that being kind of like a cool little aftermarket thing. And people do get competitive, so it might be kind of cool to see. The other thing you can do with them is just trade them. And if we can use we can use the Heron coin token for this, I suppose we can burn more Heron this way. So I think there's like a good place for that. So this is where I'm going to leave it. And I hope that kind of checking out the functions are really easy. It's harder to build the flow than it is the function. And when you look at packed code, I think people get mixed up and don't really understand how you connect the blockchain to the front end. And it's just an API call. We're calling API calls to Chainweb, and you're not calling Pack directly. Essentially, you're telling it, this is the code block I want to execute. You're formatting a command and you're sending it. And at the end of the day, if you can break it down that way, if you know how to work with an API in Web 2, you certainly can work with the Chainweb API in Web 3. It's almost comical to me that a lot of people get hung up on that piece of it without taking. I don't think we do a good job of educating on that, and it's one of those weird things of like you would assume that people would know that, uh, but assumptions always get us in trouble. And so I think if we can demystify that a little bit, I think it'll help. And the with the advent of what AI is doing right now, you should be able to take one of the repos I've made, one of the repos KadenAI's made, the other devs have made, plenty of us have made them and open sourced them. Take one of those, take a code sample, go to your favorite, AI. I would trust OpenAI or Claude. Claude to me is the best, but which is crazy because I love OpenAI, but they're just phenomenal at this point, and the competition couldn't be more fun. And so if you take that code and you say, "Hey, I need this code, but I need it to do X, Y, Z," and give it the pack command, give it the exact code from packed. I bet it could get you very close to working code to run. And that doesn't necessarily teach you, right, anything, but if you wanted to just play around with this and just try it, you might as well. I mean, what's it going to hurt? The worst case, it doesn't work, and then a lot of people just come ask the rest of us, "Hey, why isn't this working?" And I can always tell. I can always tell when it's like a gesture of I tried asking the AI versus I tried making the command, or some try to do both. But somebody will help. One of us will help, and so don't be afraid to try it. It's even small little apps are cool, right? We just need more things to do. So with that, I hope everybody has a good day. I hope that some of these updates are interesting. I like to talk. I like when people come in and ask questions too, and I know some of you wanted to just DM me, which is cool too, and I'll get back to those in a few minutes. But on that, have a good rest of the Thursday, and stay doing whatever you want to do. I hope it's not cold and snowy where you're at. It's the weirdest time of year for us, but usually it's nice. Right now it's not, so coding it is. Stay in and code. Maybe that should be like the mantra of the season. But on that note, I think I've I think I've lost all my marbles, and it's time to get out of here. Thanks, everyone. And don't forget to subscribe to YouTube. Very important. It doesn't cost anything. Just please subscribe. Really appreciate it. Thanks, everyone.